Salutations everyone and welcome to What Mattered. Warning, do not show this show to horses. With the first big news, we head over to Nintendo Direct, where they had an entire presentation dedicated to Super Smash Bros. Come out this year for the 3DS and the Wii U. They give us the launch window, summer for the 3DS version, and winter for the Wii U version. I'm a little surprised that they're splitting up when they're being released, but, at least we have some concrete details, and I was going to get it on the 3DS anyway since I don't own a Wii U yet, but I'm sure plenty of them are going to be bought. Especially, if the price, dips down by, holiday season or winter time when it comes out, and especially with bundles, which I know it has to happen because this is a huge, huge game for Nintendo, and it's going to be pretty awesome. They announced a bunch of new characters as well as a few changes, which gives us more characters. We're bringing back Yoshi. No surprise there. He's been there since the very beginning. They're also giving us two new Pokemon, Charizard, which is, a very surprising development. Pokemon Trainer was one of my favorite players to be in Brawl because they gave you Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. All three of them were great as separate things, and I thought they complemented each other really well. And, while I would like to have the Pokemon Trainer back again, or just have all three of those Pokemon, they're giving us Charizard. His move types look a little bit different, so no surprise there. He doesn't seem as slow as like a Bowser-type character, so that's really nice. And they also gave us Greninja, which is part of the new Kanto region from Pokemon XY. He's the final form of Feroki, the water starter Pokemon. He is part water and part psychic. And for those of you who are not familiar with Greninja, that is not a scarf around his neck. That is his tongue. He is a frog after all. His moveset looks pretty good. It looks kind of like a hybrid between like a fox and a Pikachu. So that looks really nice. They also announced that transformations are gone. So Zelda and Sheik are two completely separate characters. And I'm pretty happy about that, actually, because Sheik is one of my favorite characters. I hated that, you really lose an attack on that, down B transformation button, combination. So it's nice to see that they're giving them their own separate characters, which is really nice. Hopefully they fine-tune those characters to make them both equally good. As well as Zero Suit Samus, which you would get if you used the Final Smash from Samus in Brawl, and you would play as Zero Suit Samus for the rest of the game. But now she is her own character with some new hardware. She's got these like rocket high heel boots, which is weird, but obviously gonna be a totally different character with a completely different moveset. I wasn't a big fan of Zero Suit Samus in Brawl. She didn't seem very competitive or powerful to me compared to her, her armored counterpart. But, it was good. More characters, the better. For me, they released so much in this that I'm hoping that there's still more to come as far as the roster goes, because there's still a couple of characters that I've been waiting for. Namely, they're bringing back King DDD, they're bringing back Diddy Kong, they're bringing back Olimar, three characters that were terrible in Brawl, but they still have yet to give us Jigglypuff back, who's been there since the beginning, and they haven't given us my Meta Knight. I need my Meta Knight, man, he's awesome. You could tone him down if you want, because apparently he was overpowered and banned in competitive in Brawl, or whatever, but just give me my Meta Knight, give me my Jigglypuff, and I'll be pretty happy. Also, they have released that there's going to be a new specific adventure-type mode solely for the 3DS. Masahiro Sakurai said it's going to be called Smash Run. It's a new type of game mode where you run through a series of, I don't know if it's like small levels or what, but you'll be picking up items and taking out AI enemies. These last about 5 minutes, and then after that you take all those items that you gained in that little run and take them to a match against, I assume, other characters or AI, and you'll fight it out there. So that's a completely 3DS exclusive mode. No word yet on if there's going to be some sort of adventure or space emissary-like mode for the Wii U, so hopefully we'll get briefed about that sometime during the spring or the summer, or, if it comes to it, fall. But, hopefully that's not all the information they have left for us. That's a lot of it, and I'm pretty happy about most of it, but, with a franchise as great as this, I just hope to see more. the Spider-Man spin-off Sinister Six has a director, is official, it's been speculated about since probably production of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which comes out in just a few short weeks. So we're going to have a Sinister Six movie. We might also be having a Venom movie outside of the Sinister Six movie, so that's interesting. They already have writers on, they have their director in Goddard, so that's very interesting. Sinister Six, a very popular group of baddies, and it's supposed to be very character driven, so hopefully we'll be able to see more developments about this, post, of course, Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I'm looking forward to. A non-Sony Marvel movie announcement. A new Marvel movie has been announced. Dreadstar. Yeah, I've never heard of him. I've absolutely never heard of this character, which is saying something, because I'm a big comic book guy. He looks like he should be, fighting Grayskull. I mean, just look at this dude. It's really weird. It's from the 80s. I've never heard of him. Isn't really that popular, obviously. It's created by the same guy who did 2 of the Guardians of the Universe as well as Thanos. Obviously, he's not on the same tier as those guys, but he's apparently going to be getting his own, movie adaptation, or at least supposedly. They have people who want to do it, and I don't know about you guys, but they shouldn't be reaching at the bottom of the barrel when they have so many people on the cream of the crop that they haven't even touched yet. Just announce the Doctor Strange movie already. Just do it. And in non-Marvel Disney news, Star Wars is apparently started filming for Episode 7. The casting isn't finished yet, and apparently there's some people that are part of the cast who haven't been officially announced yet, so I'm speculating that we'll be seeing more information about that. The cast isn't completely filled out, they said, but they have already started filming. Supposedly there's a Tatooine shoot that they're doing now. They're going to be moving to Dubai. And Peter Mayhew is, revising his role as Chewbacca, which was slipped because in his convention run, he had to cancel a few appearances due to filming. And since, Star Wars is the only thing Peter Mayhew does, it's pretty much a lock that Chewbacca is going to be back. No surprises there, but, the more concrete information we get about this super secretive project that we know very little about, the better. So, Episode 7 is filming. We'll get more news on casting eventually, and hopefully more to come. Microsoft has says that they are very much considering try to do a 360 emulator on the Xbox One, which is a very interesting development. Both Sony and Microsoft decided to forego backwards compatibility, although Nintendo didn't. Like, no one's giving praise to Nintendo anytime soon. But people seem to always be clamoring for backwards compatibility. For some reason, that's a big deal in some people's eyes, but honestly, it doesn't make a difference. And if it did, then it would show in sales and in the way consoles are made. It absolutely makes no difference. While it would be nice to, consolidate all of your Xbox gaming, or at least most of it, outside of the original Xbox, to just one platform, just one little console, that would be nice. But, it's definitely not necessary. But it's something that, a lot of people will be happy about. It's something that Microsoft is definitely looking into. I would be surprised if they didn't fall through on this, because it just doesn't seem like something that's really in Microsoft's best interest in the long run. Although they, with the PlayStation, streaming service for backwards compatibility, there are kind of workaround on it. It wouldn't be surprising if Microsoft really tried to hammer this home, especially if a year or two from now they still find themselves lagging behind the PlayStation 4 in sales. But overall, it's not really an interesting development to me, and it really shouldn't be to you either. The new Borderlands that people have been, talking about for the past couple weeks has officially been announced. Borderlands, the PreSequel, which is going to be taking place between Borderlands 1 and 2, which is why it's like a sequel and a prequel at the same time. So it's a funny title. Oddly enough, it's going to be on last gen's consoles. It's going to be on the 360 and the PlayStation 3 only. Although, as many people speculate, if it does well enough, and if anything, we've been shown from other games like Tomb Raider and Last of Us that these games are probably going to be worked on to come out on the current generation of consoles, so that wouldn't be surprised if that was happening. But as far as launch goes, it's only going to be out on the 360 and PlayStation 3. I'm a big fan of the Borderlands series. This is really nice. We're gonna be able to see more of how Handsome Jack came to be the guy that he was in Borderlands 2. We're gonna get some great writing, some great loot gun dropping action, and it's gonna be fantastic. No solid release date has been given, although it's given the general release date of Q3 2014. So when they said they weren't working on a Borderlands 3, I guess they were telling the truth, because it's technically not Borderlands 3. It's Borderlands 1.5, or the prequel as they call it. So that's whatever. That's all I have for you guys this week. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave comments below on any of the stories that I mentioned, and all the links to the stories will be in the description as well. Positive and negative comments, very much appreciated. Subscribe every single Saturday, a What Mattered, and I'll see you next time.